Hey gang, this is Eugene of the Sneakerphiles podcast. You are watching Sneakerphiles live with Brooke Hoetzer, and you can find us online at www.sneakerphiles.com. You can find us on Twitter at Sneakerphiles, and you can find us on Instagram at Sneakerphiles_podcast. So without further ado, here's your host, Brookie Doo.
What's going on, guys? How's it going? So we're back again. Thanks for tuning in live. Hopefully we can have a really good participation like last week.
I know that it's, we don't get to do this as regular as I like, but we are making an effort right now. And once again, we like to shout out everyone that's in the chat right now showing up. We got Ryan Swanger, we got Beard Jedi. Thanks for being in the chat with us. And I just want to give a shout out to people that come by week after week just to check us out and what we have to say and all the topics that we get into, and I really appreciate it. So anytime during this broadcast, if you have any opinions, if you agree or disagree with what we have to say, please let us know, and we will address it as quickly as we can. So how are you feeling there, Brooke?
I'm feeling pretty good. I actually, for the first time in a while, just did a review on my website. You can find it. I posted it of the Scottie Pippens that I got, the crazy looking cheetah ones, and it was the first time I actually had to take the photos myself again. So recently I've been getting my pictures taken, everything like that. So we shall see. But yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good though. I'm excited to talk about some stuff. What about you, Eugene? You feeling good?
I'm feeling all right. I've been preoccupied with a lot of work, and I don't know how many are watching right now know that I am actually going to be boarding a flight to Toronto in like 5-6 hours. I'm going to be leaving Vancouver in a few hours to go to the Toronto SneakerCon for Saturday. I am going with Stay Fresh. They invited me to come along, and I don't know how interested everyone is, but I plan on documenting the whole trip and seeing what kind of trouble we can get into, and hopefully present some sort of a series on YouTube for people to watch, like exactly what we were up to the whole time, and our experience, because we've never been to one of the official sneaker cons yet. So it's going to be an exciting kind of experience for all of us.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely does sound sick. It's actually crazy. I've never personally have I ever been to a sneaker con.
Yeah,
like you would think,
there was
I
one that
would have
in your
gone.
back door like not too long ago, and you somehow missed
Dude,
that.
Couldn't get off of work because I'm
Well, I don't know who to blame for that one. So
for a second.
You got this? So
I got it now. It was like fading in and out. But yeah, I couldn't go because no one would switch shifts with me, and I was so sad.
That is pretty sad.
Yeah.
But
I heard it was whack. So
whack in a good way or bad? I don't even know anymore nowadays.
a bad.
All right.
Yeah. Right.
Hopefully it won't be like that for me, but that's to be determined how my experience is, and hopefully you guys will watch, exactly how that's gonna be for me on our YouTube channel, which is what you're watching this on right now. So any updates from the last week or so with you and cops or anything like that, Brooke?
Yeah, so the past week, today I was actually pretty successful with the Supreme drop with Scarface, which was super duper cool. So other than that, that was definitely a great pickup to have. Another super sick pickup was obviously the shoes that I was just talking about were the Scottie Pippen ones. I got like the crazy safari pair that really drew my eye, and I was like sweating for this release. It was definitely one that wasn't easy to get, so I'm glad that I got it. Another one of my friends actually works at a sneaker villa, and I kind of I know I talked shit about it before, but the Jordan 1, the Flyknits, the Breads, I actually got them for like $90. So I can't complain. I really like them in person.
I know we've talked about this for more than once. The Flyknit Jordan 1 bread colorway and recently the Royals. Everyone in the chat right now. Actually, shout out to Monday Midsole showing up in the chat. Thank you for your support.
Yeah,
And
that's what's up.
I know that we've talked about this before, but how does everyone feel about the fly knit bread ones? Like, I'm talking about once you see it in person. I hear people swear that they're not so bad when you see them in person. So how do you like? Did you get a pair? Like, how do you feel about it now that you've seen them in person?
Me or the chat?
You.
Oh, me. Actually, seeing them in person, I really like them a lot more, like a whole lot more. So at first, like I know, Hypeless Joe, shout out. He was just like, talking mad shit on them too, and I was feeding into him. I'm like, yeah, they fucking look like a grandma sweater, like this or that. But one day, working in a mall that I work at, I'm in so many stores. So I walked past Foot Locker and I saw a pair sitting there. And I was like, you know what? Let me just look at these. And I was like, wow, they're not that bad. And I looked at the girl. I'm like, do you mind if I tried my size on? And they're actually super comfortable. I don't think ones are too terribly uncomfortable when I work, like, because I work a 9-hour shift towards like 7 hours. I'm like, all right, they're a little, I'm starting to feel it right now. But, they actually look a lot better in person. I wouldn't buy the Royals though because I already have the Royals, and I really don't like blue shoes. The only reason I have the Royals is because they're just like an OG. I don't really like the blue color in them, to be honest with you. So I really like the Breads. I think they look a lot nicer in person. You should check them out.
I have seen them in person. I actually took.
I was gonna say you probably have.
I have. Like I said before, I get access to a lot of crazy shoes, and in the chat we got Ryan Swanger saying. At your price, he would probably buy them. Monday Midsole says he likes them. They're very comfortable. They do have the zoom insole in them, so I guess that makes it. You know what? They should put that kind of technology in the OG retros, man. That would make a huge difference. Kind of like when they released the Chuck Taylor All-Star 2s with the Lunar Lawn insole. That made all the difference, and I bought like 3 pairs. And it is what it is. Like I don't mind the shoes, just I wouldn't get it myself.
Yeah, personally, if I didn't get a discount on them, I wouldn't pay $140 for them. But it's just something that I purchased because I like them. I was able to get a discount for them, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll have the bread ones in my collection just to be able to have them. So it's definitely something that I'm probably gonna rock a lot. They're probably gonna be more of like a beater shoe. So if I need something to kind of like wear when I just like want to throw something on, they'll probably be that. But I definitely not unhappy with the price, so I can't complain.
I know that having very comfortable shoes is super important, especially in a line of job where you're on your feet for like around the clock. So yeah, maybe if I can get them at your price, I might look into it. But for me at the moment, it's still a pass for me, even though I've seen them in person, and I do think the quality is good. I'm not complaining about the quality or comfort. It's just I have the OG, so at the moment, no. So
at the moment, no. I mean, I don't doubt you for that. Like, if someone was like, Brooke, like, do you want the OGs or do you want these fly knits? Like, what do you want to use your money towards? Hell yeah, it will be the OGs. I actually had a pair of OGs that I was going to purchase. But the dude ended up selling them because I was just like dicking around asking him so many questions because my man Buckeye City Soul got me scared I was going to get a fake pair of ones. So I was just going in and on it. But I do see that Ryan posted and he said that he tried them on and he looked like Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation. That's great. I like the red in them. I think the red like really pops, but that was a good one.
Right, like I said, no complaints for me, just not for me. So moving on, anything else that you've caught within the last 7 days?
Yeah, I ended up getting the Flyknit trainers in the crimson yellow. I actually am super duper shocked, and I want to see anyone drop a comment in the chat about what I'm about to talk about really quick. Do you ever feel like you see a shoe on Nike's website or the sneakers app or even Adidas or wherever it may be, and it's totally different than when it comes in the mail? Like, these actually were not as yellow as I thought they were going to be. Like, they're much more darker, and I feel like the pictures sometimes can kind of deceive a shoe for the coloring, if anyone feels that way as well. but I
I'm
do like them a lot.
I'm a huge fan of the Flyknit trainers. I kind of missed out on the boat on the original release like 4 years ago, and I actually am in the I'm not in the hunt. I already got a couple of pairs. I got the original white ones. You know which ones. And
Yeah.
I recently Stay Fresh just got their shipment of the Flyknit trainers, so they got the blue and the pink or fuchsia ones, and I was able to get a pair of those for like way under retail, so that's not bad for me. And so I got the pink ones and the white ones, so I'm looking forward to more. And the yellow ones I've not seen in person, but when you asked me personally, like on our private kind of chat, I was telling you that they're not really for me. But tell them how much you got it for, though.
All right. Yeah, I got them for $50. So, I mean, I can't really complain. I had a Nike gift card. So, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I do kind of like them. I feel like they're a shoe to kind of just like the Flyknits, just to throw on and kind of beat down because I really do love my OG. I have the white ones just like you. But white shoes I get really scared with. Like I don't like a lot of people that wear their white shoes and wear them to the ground and they look super duper beat up. Like I think that looks disgusting. Like I don't like that look whatsoever. One of my friends at work has a pair of the white NMDs, the Japan ones, and they're just beat to shit. He still wears them. Like it just reminds me like of when I was younger and like my mom could only buy me like one pair of shoes, and I had to like I always wanted like white Air Force Ones, and I'd always fuck them up and get like yelled at for it. But I don't know. I just don't. I don't like the whole like dirty white look. So I try to keep them super clean and only wear them on good days.
So it seems like, when it comes to us buying nowadays, the price of how much we're copying for does have a huge impact on how much we end up liking a pair of shoes. I know like back in the day, it's just like, okay, I like a pair. I don't care how much it costs. I have to buy it. Now it's like, I like a pair. If it's cheap enough, I'll get it. So within the last 4 or 5 years, it's changed a lot. So the Flyknit trainers, I think it's a good pickup for you because I've seen your photos. You look not bad in it, and
Oh.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I dig it. I'm just kidding.
But
Yeah.
so the last pickup that you've had for the week, that's the one that intrigued me the most. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Wait, the one that intrigued you the most of the week? Was
Yeah.
it the kits?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So I was actually super duper nervous to open these up just because of like what Buckeye City Soul had with his and just like other quality issues, different things like that. If you follow me on Instagram, I went live when I opened up the package. Well, I opened them up the next day, but I went live on kind of really unboxing and taking like my first like real looks with it. And I didn't have any issues. There was on the bottom, there was like like a little black speck, but it was just something that could have been like, wiped away super duper easily that like I wasn't even fretting about. But I was like super nervous. But I'm telling you, the quality on them is insane. However, they do run a little bit big. So like I could have went to a 6.5, but I really didn't need to because my purple ones fit fine, which is weird. Fuck no, I'll wear thick socks. It's not like that big. All right. Anyone comment right now. If you're spending $220 on a shoe, are you gonna buy something that's not gonna fit you, or are you gonna buy something that's gonna fit you? Like I don't get how people torture themselves for that. Well, take the insoles out. So do you want to hear something crazy that I did? So this is a little history. I'll make it quick for you guys so we can get the rest of the content. But back in the day, I used to have a plug at PacSun for the Yeezy raffles, and he would always hook me up. And he ended up getting fired because he was just doing it for the wrong people. But besides that fact, I was only able to secure like a size 8, and I actually sold because the V2s, like the stripe ones, ran like super duper slim. I actually sold the V2s like and then repurchased that resale price a half
Right.
size smaller because I'm that fucking particular.
What?
But I made money off of it, so whatever.
Well, there you go. That's not really
Yeah.
a negative. So when it comes to this Kith pack, I know the one that you got, like the cheetah print, the animal looking pack. That's the one that
Super
people
cool.
were most divisive about. Like people are like, "Oh, dude, these are clown," or like, "Oh, these are fire." It really depends on your sense of style when it comes to collecting something a little bit more unique or different. This Kith Pippin pack is that Kith has always been so interesting, bringing back silhouettes, making silhouettes that's kind of forgotten or kind of unpopular back into the mainstream again. Do you think this was a good move for Nike to be like, here, go at it with a Pippin?
I think it was really good for Nike to do that. And like my thing is Nike is like seriously like everyone was talking so highly about Adidas, like Nike sleeping with like all these releases, this and that, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. But like look at it now, like everyone is like on the trend, like it's that's what like drives me nuts about it. And yes, I was one of those people that like wore a lot of Adidas and like did a lot of things, but like Nike wasn't like really producing heat for like a while, and now they've like really stepped out of the box and just like fucking like Incredible Hulk like came out and was like eat shit Adidas. Like that Ronnie Feg collab is just like, even the apparel was so sick. When I copped the cheetah animal pack ones, I would have copped apparel, but I actually like I didn't even think I was going to get them because Safari took a shit. I had to like download Google Chrome at like 11:02 on my phone, and I copped through like Google Chrome, the Google Chrome app. Like that's how I got them. And I seriously was like in the women's gym locker room, like fucking sweating, like yelling at my phone, and all these old ladies are like, "What the fuck's going on?" Like I was seriously like losing my shit because I didn't think I was going to get them.
So with that last cop that you've had, let's just get into the chat and see how everyone else feels about it. So Ryan Swanger said he got the purples this week.
The purples are fire.
And he really likes your shots of the Pippins that you got.
Yeah, I did see him say that. The Pippins are they're sick. Thank you, Ryan. You always show so much love, so love you back.
So it's just a lot of confusion on the quality issue on that particular shoe. It's just people are getting really different, experiences with getting the shoe in the mail and opening the box and finding out whether or not there is a quality issue. So I guess when you're experimenting with certain new material or patterns, that's one of the, the things that could happen is just you won't get 100% exactly pitch perfect quality, maybe.
But it's so weird because like everyone that I've like came across that has had quality issues are the people that purchased the red pair. Like I haven't seen any quality issues with the purple pair.
Like I said,
Like
it could be just that one
that
unique
silhouette,
pattern.
yeah.
So it maybe it's as simple as that, but the one that that interests me the most would be next year's Air Max Day release, that really crazy all over the place one. That one looks like a huge undertaking for Nike to try and mass produce those shoes. It's got like 18 different colorways and different materials and stuff, so I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting a pair of those, but that's way next year. But a lot of people suggesting using obviously Rejuvenator, Jason Mark's weights, cleaning kits, and Beard Jedi is like,
Jason Marks is my favorite.
I like that product a lot because it's no chemicals involved, and we know chemical reactions with a lot of cleaning products can be detrimental to some of the color and the dyeing process that the Nike and Adidas uses. So I'm usually fairly careful what I put on my shoes, and I think the best way to handle that situation is just never wear your shoes, honestly. But Beard Jedi saying he's scared of rocking his Royal 12s because he's afraid he'll have to clean them and then it goes to shit. So wearing the shoes is not really the people's concern. It's cleaning the shoes that people are worried about, which is an odd, kind of ironic situation. Like I always say, like I know this sounds kind of stupid, but my theory is like wearing clothes don't really ruin them. It's always washing them that ruins your clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I never like I'm very clean, so when I say this, like don't be like dirty bitch. But I don't like washed a lot of like expensive shirts, like Supreme, Kith. Like I'll wear them and I'll take them off and I'll hang them up. Like I wash them and they're clean. They smell really good. They honestly do. I do smell very good.
So
But
people in the chat, let us
you got to
know,
be
like,
careful.
people in the chat, let us know how you treat your extremely valuable clothing, hype beast clothes. Not just expensive per se, but shit that's nearly impossible to replace, like, you know, like a BOGO or something like that. But anyways, you want to move on to the next segment?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So I also too I was lucky and I did cop a piece of the Scarface Supremes shirt today. I got the blimp one. So I was super happy about that. I almost got the one that said Supreme on it, but I was doing like two, one on my iMac, one on my phone, and the one just kept saying processing. So can't be salty about that. And then all right, cool. So let's talk about some news that's coming up a little bit. I don't want it to be like release because I really just want participation. So I'm gonna shout. I have a couple things in here that I'm kind of gonna highlight. So did you see, Eugene, and anyone in the chat, the Nike Ninja Pack?
No, but go on.
Okay, so the Nike Ninja Pack is going to be a Nike Air Max Plus, a 90 Essentials. They go from 86 to 144 US dollars. This was just like a leak that I saw, and I love them. I love all black shoes. Like for me personally, it's like probably one of my favorite type. Ooh, I found out how to look at the chat. Sorry guys. That's probably one of my favorite like just style of shoes. I do like shoes that pop a lot, but this Ninja Pack kind of like looks a little bit sleek to me. So if you haven't seen them, definitely check them out. But other than that, what do you think about let's get into something else then, maybe the Steph Currys that came out, the new ones. How did you feel about them?
With Steph Curry's, again, we're going to talk about this a little bit in later on, but I think the basketball signature series performance side of things, they're gonna look a little space agey and a little bit ahead of their time, and I think that's the trend right now with sneaker manufacturers. I'm not saying in particular like sneaker consumers are into that kind of trend. I'm just saying that seems to be what they're producing, and the Steph Curry 4s, they do look really high performance, and take it for a good or a bad thing if you want, but they seem like a very utilitarian, purpose-made shoe for the court. So I'm not on the court very often, so for me to walk around in the mall in that shoe, it might look a little bit silly to me.
It's kind of crazy, like you said. We're going to get into it more, but you never really see anyone like rocking like Steph Curry, like basketball shoes, like just like hanging out or like chillaxing. You see more of like a LeBron or like a Kobe or a Jordan. You don't really see Under Armour being like a fashionable shoe. Me personally, I think the performance technology that's in the shoe is super duper sick, but I would never be able to just be like, hey, let me get this Steph Curry and rock it. Like, it's just not something for me. Now the new LeBrons, oh my God, can we just talk about how beautiful they are? I'm gonna drive Eugene nuts about what colorway I should get. Like, it's gonna be all horrible. So I'm super duper excited for those. They're gonna be so sick.
So I don't know exactly how many colorways have been officially announced for LeBrons. I know like the gray knits are probably going to be one of the first. Have they already dropped? I don't even know. And I know the basketball season's starting soon and everything. That's usually when all the new sneakers come out. The LeBron.
The 28th they come out. First pair come out the 28th. The Ghost.
So
yeah.
The new LeBrons is kind of the direction I'm more interested in. The Currys are like super high performance, blah blah blah, and we already know that all the LeBron signature silhouettes have always been high performance, but they really try hard to make it accessible for unique colorways and materials. Like the LeBron 10s probably had one of my favorites lines of celebration colorways, man. They had like the denims, they had the cork, they had the hazelnut, like all that stuff. That's interesting, and that always starts with a silhouette, not in particular the colorway that you see him wear on court. It's just the look of the shoe opens it up to a lot more variety and experimental kind of makeup of the shoe. And the 15 looks like they're setting themselves up to do something really interesting this year. So I can't wait to see more of it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm super duper excited for that. The pairs that really caught my eye was I saw like a burgundy pair perhaps, and the ghost pair is super duper nice, but that's again one of those shoes that like it's the first one that comes out, so I might just buy it to buy it. But I really like that floral pair that they showed like a bunch of people working on it. Beer Jedi said Game of Thrones ones or some shit. Scott Scales. That's great. If I ever saw Khaleesi in some sneakers, game over. I'm already in love, so it'd be a deal breaker. But besides that, yeah, I'm super excited about that. We're gonna discuss more about like the LeBrons and just different things like that. But kind of where I want to leave it on at the end of this topic is like the Steph Curry Under Armours are kind of like how Asics are. They're runner shoes, but you would never see someone in a pair of Asics just rocking for fashion. You'd see them in a pair of Ultra Boosts or like Pegasus or Flyknit trainers or a pair of racers. Cool. So we talked about the Royal Ones. If anyone, the Flyknits, if anyone copped them, that's cool for you. I'm excited to get the breads. I'll have them tomorrow. I'm getting them specially delivered to my work, so that should be fun. So something else that I kind of want to talk about, and I want to get your guys' opinion on it, is I'm a real big lover of the Flyknit Racer silhouette, and I'm actually kind of right now on like the hunt of finding a couple pairs that were like way older that like I may have missed out on. Like one of my favorite is the No Street Parking. I think that's a great fucking pair of shoes. I think it's beautiful. I just want to get people's opinion on the Mariahs. Like, do you think that this shoe replaces the Racer? Like, I see them sitting still on Nike's website. Like, what do you think?
What I personally think, I think the Flyknit Mariahs is a direct replacement of the Racers. You know what I mean? They discontinued the Flyknit Racers in replacement of the Mariahs, so they are directly a replacement of the Racer. So
do you think that was a bad thing to do?
It could or couldn't be, but I have a feeling with the way Nike does their shit, it seems like Racer's going in the vault for a little while. You know what I mean? In 3 or 4 years, they're gonna relaunch, and when people are sick of Mariahs or whatever the case will be, people are gonna be going nuts over Racers like they are doing with trainers right now. Nike has this release and putting into vault and then re-releasing. They got that down to a science. Like they pretty much invented the sneaker retro movement. So if anyone were to try something like that, I think Nike has enough history and silhouettes to kind of play with that. So I think the Mariahs are not doing as well as they would hope, but it's not a bad shoe. It's just you want the Flyknits to be as minimal as possible, and the only problem with me is like the Mariahs keep adding more stuff to what already was a great silhouette, which was a Racer.
I think I sent you a picture of the Mariahs, or I sent it to you when I sent you this week's content, but there is one pair that is very nice. But like you said, like, I don't know why it is, and I just posted it in the chat. I really feel like the Mariahs look more like a mom shoe, or I don't even know. Yeah, the mom Mariahs. Like it's hard to say, but it's easy to read. I just feel like the shoe is just like, it doesn't look right. Like it looks like something you would walk in a fucking like Marshalls or something and you'd like see a knockoff version of like a Flyknit Racers. Motherfuckers. I just can't get down with that shoe. I don't know what it is. It's just not something that like I don't think the only colorway that I really liked was like the first one that was released. That was that white and purple. I thought it was hot, but I never ended up pulling the trigger on them, and they're still fucking sitting. And it's kind of crazy that they haven't even went on clearance because sometimes they do that shit. But I kind of wanted to just get people's opinion on it. Like for me personally, the Racers are so dope. I remember my first pair of multicolor Racers I paid resale for, and I was like so excited to get them because they were so hard to get. But I'm glad everyone kind of feels the same. But a shoe that I'm super duper looking forward to, and I know everyone on here is a big Jordan fan, has probably seen the holiday collection. So drop a comment in the chat. Let's talk about what our favorite ones are. I love the 11s, so I'm definitely going to be copying both of them, without a doubt.
If anyone has ever seen or heard the podcast on the regular, has seen any of my videos on YouTube, they understand how important the Jordan 11 is to me. That's basically the first pair I ever bought with my own money for school, and that's the pair I used to take to the gym and change into them, and then change back out of them after I'm done on the court. And I took really good care of them. And
Gucci slides.
yeah, man. Every single Jordan 11 to me, I don't care what people think about the colorways. I usually go out and get every single holiday 11. It's such an important shoe for me. It's such a tradition for me to find a way to get Jordan 11s around Christmas time. So they can just say, for me, it's like the Apple iPhone, man. They don't have to say anything, and you already know I'm in line before they even announce it, right? So it is what it is, man. Jordan 11s, I gotta have them.
Yeah, I really like both of the colorways. The red ones are super duper dope. And I love the what is it? It's like is it a royal blue or like a midnight blue that's coming out as well? They released first, I believe, at the end of they released November 11th. They're a navy, and then the reds are December 3rd. So I'm super duper excited for them. I think it's going to be a great shoe. I always have much respect when I see someone rocking like an 11 because I just feel like they are in it for the love of sneakers. They're not just in it for the hype of it. And it's actually crazy because I watched a good YouTube video today. I forget the guy's name, and he was just kind of talking about the people that go about shoes that are hyped and then the people that don't. Like these yellow one, the Crimsons are still sitting on Nike's website. Like I think they look fucking fire. And I bet if someone famous wore them, they would be gone in a second. But that's just what it is. And that's how you know the people that are really in it because they love sneakers and the people that are in it to just to get the likes on the gram. But we also too, before we kind of go into the next topic, is anyone purchasing don't those 13s come out this weekend?
The which one?
The
Altitude? Oh, the 12s. The Burgundy 12s.
The 12s, yeah, the Burgundy 12s.
For me, I don't think they're gonna sell out. So if I can get them at an employee discount, I'll probably get that. But for retail up here in Canada, it's $255 plus 12% sales tax. So for me to buy any retail Jordan right now, it just sucks, man. Like, and I'll be in
the
Toronto.
Burgundy's beautiful. The Burgundy's nice, but I don't think I can justify it. Like, there's other stuff that I want that, like, I'm still trying to find and still trying to get for a good price. So it's probably something that I'm going to pass on. Nike released a whole shit ton too today. I forgot to mention those Air Force Ones that came out in like a bunch of different colors. In my opinion, the purple were the hottest, but I didn't pick up any pairs. I was doing shit, walking the dog and stuff, so I missed it. But the purple ones, in my opinion, were super duper nice. But they came out with a variety of colors. The reason why I bring that up is to go into kind of the next topic is all this wheat shit that's coming out. Like, how does everyone feel about that? Like, I really don't like the Jordan 1s in the wheat colorway. I don't like them. They look like an UGG.
The wheat thing has kind of been here and there for Nike, but when they release all of them like around the same time, that's when you really notice. I'm like, do we really need all these tan shoes? Like, I understand
all these wheat crackers, wheat thins. Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't.
Triscuits.
It's never been really for me. Like, for me, like, every time I see a wheat running shoe or a sneaker, it kind of reminds me of work boots for some reason, or snow boots.
Yes. Maybe. They look like home improvement shoes. Like the up tempos look like something. What's the main character's name in Home Improvement?
Tim.
Fuck. Yeah, Tim. Tim would be rocking them up tempos. I cannot fuck with them. They're too much. Teddy Grahams.
And that's the thing, man. Like, I don't need to, not. I when I wear sneakers, I want them to be sneakers, man. I don't want them to look like work boots, like. Unless they put like a steel toe cap on it, so I can actually go do work in them. Like, there's no point. I'll keep my work boots as work boots and my sneakers as sneakers. Like, it's one of those things.
I'll buy Tim's,
yeah, Tim's and shit like that. It's just don't need to put wheat on everything. Not on everything. Like, maybe have kind of like what LeBron did with the hazelnuts. Like, that's a little bit more interesting. That's not like wheat per se, but not for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I can't get down with them. They look too much like wheat thin crackers. So I are just like Teddy Grahams. I can't mess around with them. So I kind of wanted to get everyone's opinion on that. I'm glad everyone feels the same way. Um, I like how Ryan's like Teddy Grahams are real good though. That is true. Teddy Grahams are addicting.
We're not knocking
once
Teddy
you
Grahams though.
yeah, it's all about the kicks, not the grams. But besides that, yeah, so that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about. We already kind of talked about the LeBron 15s. That was my next like thing, but we kind of went ahead of ourselves. Now, this is going to be something. Does anyone in the chat, and I really want to know personally, because if you guys follow me on social media, you know that I run a lot and I'm a runner. Has anyone here ran or is a runner and runs or just has them, the Zoom flies that have been coming out? Like they came in a Chicago colorway, different things like that. Like I kind of just want to know like how these are. Like my girl tried a pair on when we were in New York City, and she like she's weird with shoes. She doesn't really get it like we do. She doesn't go into like the effect of like the whole detail of how it feels and everything like that. She said they were all right. She likes the Pegasus better. But I kind of just want to know like what are your guys' thoughts on this? Like do you like them or are they a pass or what do you think?
Are you talking about like those super high performance, the 4%?
Not the 4%. So if you look up the ones that just came out for I think maybe they were for Boston, not Chicago. They were for some marathon that just came out. They were in like in a cream color. Shout out Sean Go does like a lot of reviews on them as well. I think he has a couple pair. And he just kind of does just a look of the shoe, but I kind of want to know a performance. But Ryan says that he hears really good things from them. So maybe I will have, yeah, Chicago, that's what it was. That he hears really great things about them. So maybe I will give them a try. But I just wanted to know like everyone's opinion on them. I think they kind of look super sick. Like if you were rocking them with a pair of joggers, like depending on the colorway.
I know the regular Zoom flies, the training pair. Those are not nearly as expensive as the 4%, and I think the 4% are made for like professional or really serious runners. And
They are.
I am far from that. I would be wearing it strictly for comfort purposes, and at that price I can't justify paying that much for the sake of comfort when I can pay two-thirds of that and get a pair of Ultra Boosts just for walking around in. I have a feeling a lot of serious runners probably really like that shoe and its performance, but I'm not one of those people. But you know, Nike's return policies really do benefit a lot of people trying their products out, so you can always give that a try.
Yeah, I might do that just to see. If I end up doing that, I'll make sure that I post something for you guys, just how they are with running. Currently, right now, I'm running the Pegasus 34, and I really fucking love them because they improve the laces on them. So they're not a round lace anymore. They're a flat, so they don't come untied as much when you run. But something that I saw online that kind of leads into the next segment is the Pegasus 35. If you haven't seen this shoe, definitely Google it. To me, this is going to be crazy sick. And I think it might even be something that might be a hype new, kind of like how Adidas has the wave runners, like with Yeezy. I think this might be like Nike's type, like of wave type runner. But I really like the look of them. I think they look super duper sick. So that's definitely going to be something that I'm going to try to get. I definitely love all the Pegasus. They're the best shoes that I run in. So if anyone out there is looking for a good running shoe, I would recommend them. Or even a shoe for walking around. I prefer them over Ultra Boost any day. We have already talked about how I feel about them with running. But yeah. Have you seen them, 35s?
I have not. I'm not. Like I said, I'm not really big into running shoes, so I don't really pay attention to those silhouettes. But I'm pretty sure all those people that want to try them can get them. They're not super expensive or anything, so I have a feeling they will sell well, and that's all.
110 unless they up it. US. I don't know what Canada is for it. Something else too before we get into our main topic I want to talk about is the Ricardo collection. I don't even know how do you pronounce his last name? Tassisa? Ricardo Tassisa. Did you see that? Am I saying it wrong or right? Tassisa?
I have no idea. I have to look it up, but go on. Tell me what you know though.
Super expensive. They dropped today on Nike's website. I got an email about the collection. Some of the apparel was super duper nice, but it's Nike Lab, so the price point is super duper high. I think they're like $275.
And why are they so expensive?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is either. Like, so I kind of want to see anyone drop a comment if they purchase a pair. But me personally, $300 on a bit to see. Thank you,
TC,
thank you,
TC. I don't
thank
know.
you, Christopher James. Yeah, TC. Um, I personally don't think a shoe like that would be worth that much money. Like, that's pretty expensive. But do you want
Yeah.
to know? You want to know a shoe that was super duper cheap that came out last week? Were the Vandals? Remember I sent
Yep.
you a picture of those
Yeah,
silver
man, they're hot.
ones?
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking bought them. I had to return them.
What's
So
wrong now?
big,
What's wrong
so
now?
big,
You
so
just
big,
you just
so
want to
big.
you needed to fulfill your returning quota of the week, so you had to return something.
No, dude, I'm telling you, I was gonna keep them. I was like, seriously, I was heartbroken because they were so fucking big. Like, I'm talking, I got them in a men's size 7. I could have easily went in a 6 in them. They were so big, like so big.
All right.
I swear to God, so big.
Would you, if
It
you can
was
find
crazy.
if you can find them for the same price again, would you buy a pair that would fit you though?
Fuck yes,
All right.
because they're so nice.
I think those are definitely one of the biggest sleepers of the year. The Vandal highs, right? The one you
Yeah. Those silvery ones with the strap.
I know at the moment they're not reselling for a lot, but it's one of those pairs where it's a good looking shoe and it's not expensive, but once they sell out or if someone super famous wears them, it's gonna be one of those hype pairs. It's hype before
Yeah,
it's hyped kind of deal. You know what I mean? It,
totally. And the price was only $90. Like, you can't even beat that.
I wanted a pair, but I had a chance to grab a pair, but I kind of fell asleep because they released at like
Oh,
1 a.m. over here, and I don't like staying up till 1 a.m.
oh my God. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I was actually super duper sad about those. Um so last thing before we get into our main discussion is what's it called? The Kith and Off-White drop that's coming tomorrow. Does anyone plan on trying to cop some of the apparel on that?
I think everyone's gonna try. Whether or not they'll succeed, that's a different story. But I don't know. Tell me what you think is gonna happen with this drop.
I don't know if it's gonna be. If I'm gonna be as lucky as I am on the previous Kith drops?
Sure.
Yes. Yes. I'm definitely gonna try. I don't even know what the price point is. Do you know how much a shirt is, US or Canadian?
I have no idea. I haven't been following up with too much of that stuff lately, especially prices, man. They don't reveal the prices of certain things until very, very late. I know that, you know, two of the hottest brands right now, Off-White, they just gained some huge momentum working with Nike. And Kith has been
Yeah.
killing it the last year and a half, man. Like, their in-house Kith apparel, they sell really well. In fact, they sell out and they even resell, right? So two of these brands working together, again, it'll draw attention to both sides. And it seems like everything that it's got that, you know, connection with Nike because they both regularly work with, not regularly, but they both work with Nike recently. So hopefully that means you know, benefits for both brands.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I don't know what the price point is going to be, but I'm going to buy it either way, even though I probably shouldn't, just because I got some heat this week. But I personally love Kith. Like, I love going to that store every time I go into New York. I always have to go. So that's something to me that I'm definitely going to try to get just because I love their apparel. Like on Monday, I try to get how they always have their Monday drops. I try to get that olive crew neck, but that shit sold out so quick.
It is
I
what it
was
is.
I was pretty sad about that. Yeah, it is what it is. There's always another drop,
Yeah.
and it's $150 that I didn't just spend, so I can't really be upset about that. So finally, I kind of want to shout out to I hate Donald Trump. I kind of just want to shout out Eminem for going fucking in on that track. If anyone has not heard it, definitely check it out because that was just straight fire. And it's good to see Eminem back. Like, he's always been one of my favorite rappers growing up. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I've watched 8 Mile, but I just thought that was super dope. I'm assuming I know your views on everything. Did you watch it?
I did watch it. I watched it multiple times. Like,
Yeah, I
th-
got chills.
despite the message he was trying to convey, like just the structure and the composition of his message was really well done. Like, just as a rap cipher itself is really well done. Like, I'm not going to give too much opinion of my political standpoint on certain things on in public usually. So as what it is, very well constructed, very well delivered. Whether or not I agree or disagree with the message, that's irrelevant right now. Um,
Yeah.
but what he had to say was very powerful, and he kind of used his platform of a lot of young people that gets influenced by media very in a general and more than a general kind of status. It's just that he's using his platform properly at delivering a message instead of just bitching about it on Twitter. You know what I mean? So it's a very impactful piece that he did, I think.
Yeah, the whole structure, I totally 110% agree with you, was just super duper dope. It was super duper, like, I got chills every time I watched certain parts of it, but I thought it was really good, so I kind of just wanted to bring that up. Don't want to get too political. Everyone has their own views, so it is what it is. But I definitely agree with him with the whole standing. Like, if you want to follow me, yeah, I like that. But besides that, the main discussion I was wanted to talk about are basketball shoes once again becoming more of a popular lifestyle shoe? Are they more becoming a fashion shoe? Like, I personally, I feel like they are. I see a lot more people rocking like even older basketball shoes. So me, personally, I think that this is something that is going to be changing the game.
I am.
And I don't think there's going to be hype with Adidas until the next Yeezy comes out.
So I know for sneakerheads, especially people of my age, sneaker collecting has always been rooted in, for me, for my generation, has always been rooted in basketball. And almost every shoe that I've learned by name, by colorway, by looking at posters and whatnot, that has always been from the NBA and Michael Jordan and all those iconic players. And it's very deeply rooted in basketball. So it makes sense that basketball is one of the most influential trends when it comes to sneaker sales and and just popularity in general. So I don't know exactly how wearable outside the court modern basketball shoes are, but I see people attempting and being very creative on how they pull an outfit together. Like, I know you wear a lot of basketball shoes, or as much as you can get a chance to, and people are actually being way more fashionably conscious with how they wear their sneakers nowadays than I used to be back when I was in high school. Back in high school, I just used to wear the baggiest anything I can find, throw in a pair of the newest sneakers, and that was my outfit of the day. But nowadays, people are trying a lot more interesting ways to showcase the sneakers they have on feet, even if it does mean a high performance basketball shoe. How do you feel about the way people are trying to wear their sneakers nowadays, Brooke?
I really think it comes down to like your fashion and like how you dress. Like, there's certain people that can pull off certain types of shoes. Like, a lot of people, like, I know, some people told me like I'll never be able to pull off up tempos, or I'll never be able to pull off any shoe that's bulky because I'm super skinny and it won't look right on me. Like, here's a big fuck you to you that said it, because like, look at my shit. Like, I can wear it well. Like, I really think it just comes down to like how you style yourself, how you wear your sneaker. Like, me personally, like, we don't really, it's more of like me. For the way I dress, I wear tight pants, I wear a baggy up top, and I wear whatever I want on my feet. So it's just kind of comes down to like your style and your personal preference and like how you are. Like, you can't just be someone that like comes into the game and just, wears certain things a certain way and puts on like a pair of Air Jordan 1s. Like, if my girlfriend came walking home in a pair of Air Jordan 1s, I would be like, wow, yeah. But then I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's not you. So, I mean, like, it really all comes down to like who you are as a person, like how you carry yourself, how you dress yourself. Like, my biggest pet peeve is when people wear like super baggy pants or sweatpants and wear like a Flyknit racer with them, or like some like an Ultra Boost or something that just hides the shoe. Like for me, my go-to are joggers. Like every time, like I'm always in a pair of joggers. I wear denim, and if I wear denim, it's like distressed denim. But that's just like my look. But I can totally understand the people that kind of just wear them to kind of like wear them to be about the hype. But like when you wear something like that, you really have to make sure like that everything is intact.
Look, we got a couple of comments right now. Beard Jedi, shout out first of all for sticking around all this time. He thinks that he feels they are getting more performance based, but so is your wardrobe. Slim fit joggers and such. So people are wearing, like athletic wear outside the gym, so why not wear athletic shoes outside the court, right? So I guess that's kind of where he's going with that conversation. Christopher James saying retros are for casual wearing, but the current basketball shoes he feels are strictly performance and hard to wear casually. And that's it. I agree with that 100%, that they are hard to wear casually, but not impossible. I've seen a lot of awesome hype wear or hype beast pictures and fucking hype shots on Instagram where people are wearing ultra high performance basketball shoes and pulling it off with their wardrobe to make it look not out of place but actually really eye catching. So it really depends on your style, whether or not you can not pull off. Anyone can pull it off if they do it right, but whether or not they feel comfortable wearing ultra high performance sneakers with their wardrobe. So I think it has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, I agree with you. One shoe that I kind of wanted to touch base on before we got into the discussion that is something that's on my radar that I really want to get is the Mamba Mentality Bruce Lee's. Like I think the Kyrie Kobe's, like they're fucking amazing. Like I would rock the shit out of them. And yeah, they're a performance shoe, but like still to me, like they look fire. Like sometimes I'll see someone come into like my work. Like we see so many people coming to the mall with like, crazy basketball sneakers, and like some of the LeBrons, like they're crazy looking. So the Monday midsole brings up a really good point, and I'm glad he did. I would not pay for them. They're too expensive.
What are we talking about?
The
Balenciagas?
Balenciagas.
The Balenciagas.
Yeah, the Balenciagas. Me personally, they're super duper expensive. They look sick, but like
it's a designer sneaker.
Yeah,
and
it's. Did you see them Louis Vuittons? Leaks of the Louis Vuitton shoes.
Yes, I did see them. They are very.
I would hate to get kicked in the face with them.
They are very untraditional and unconventional. Yeah. Let's just say. But we have to differentiate our kind of taste with a lot of these high fashion things. And one of the things I always talk about with my friends is that, Adidas, Nike, Reebok, they strictly make sneakers and athletic runners and whatnot, so they've been doing it forever. But when you're talking about high fashion, like the Louis Vuittons and the Balenciaga, like they're not there to make performance-based shoes. They just make shoes that they think is a representation of high performance. You know what I mean? Kind of like the only reason why I don't spend $1,000 on my glasses or my sunglasses is because I can get a pair of Gucci or Versace glasses, but like they're not known for making glasses, so I just buy my Ray-Bans and Oakleys because those guys do make glasses, and that's all they really do. You know what I mean? Like,
yo, Warby Parker all the way.
Are you one of those subscription-based glasses?
Dog, Warby Parker's the shit, man. $95. They contact your doctor, get everything you need, boom, call it a deal. I've gotten more compliments with Warby Parker, and I used to wear Ray-Bans all the time.
Right.
Ever. So, like, I fuck with Warby Parker.
And that's what I'm saying, man, because they only specialize in glasses, right? And that's why you fuck with their brand. But when I'm talking about Louis Vuitton making sneakers, I'm like, maybe I wouldn't buy a Nike handbag as much as I wouldn't buy a Louis Vuitton sneaker. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
No, it totally does. I think that they're super duper ugly. They kind of scare me.
Maybe in
remind me of
50 years they'll look like they're fucking classics, though.
They remind me of an alien from Rick and Morty. If anyone watches that show.
Monday Mitchell saying that he can't mess with Balenciagas, those sketcher looking some bitches. and I agree, man.
I love it. Yo, they do. The Louis Vuitton ones kind of look like the Skechers. Mine shape your butt up though, Monday midsole.
And the thing, that's the thing, man. They're made to look like other shoes, and why would I don't know? Why buy a more expensive imitation? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. No, I totally 110% agree.
uh,
Completely.
back to the topic at hand. It's
Yeah.
the casual basketball shoes that we're talking about. Earlier, we talked about the Curry Fours, which I personally don't think it's a very has very much casual appeal to that shoe.
No, not at all.
No one that doesn't play basketball will buy that shoe, and that's how they've always cornered themselves in that market. And I think that's a huge mistake that they may be making. Like even when it comes to super high performance LeBrons and KDs and all that stuff, you can imagine one or two colorways being able to go with any kind of wardrobe. Like you said, the Mamba mentality, the Bruce Lee looking things that you kind of thought that were nice. Those have a lot of casual appeal, even though they're on a brand new silhouette and made specifically for the court. But the Currys, no matter what colorway or what kind of treatment you put to it, it will still look like an ultra high performance basketball shoe. It doesn't lend itself to a lot of options to make them more casually appealing, if you know what I mean.
No, for sure. I'll be honest with you. Tonight, I might place a bid on them on StockX,
Right on.
the Mambas, but I'm not paying more than 200.
Uh,
Does anyone in the chat have them?
I
You don't
actually
have them, do you?
I do not, but there is a pair at the store that is my size, and I
Yo,
actually
what is wrong with you? Get that employee discount. Buy that shit. Call it a
I
wrap.
can't get that one for employee discount. It's not. It's a
How much
consign.
are they selling at your store?
More than what StockX would be selling. So if I were to fuck with it, I would probably just go straight to StockX. It's not that they're an ugly shoe. It's just like they're so unjustifiably expensive right now. You know what I mean? Like it's a basketball
They're
shoe.
in like the they're in I think they're let me take a look. I think they're in like the 300 range.
Yeah, that's not anywhere
So another
close to retail. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
understand that it's a very important celebration shoe and all that stuff, but it seems like people are buying it just
retail is
because
150, right?
I think so, but I think that it's one of those shoes where people like it because it's a Kobe inspired shoe. So why not just I don't know. It's just odd to me that people want this shoe, but they're not a fan of Kyrie. So I don't know exactly what they're going with it.
So let's see here. My size right now is listed for 320. Highest bid is 250.
There you go. So
Yeah.
300 plus is what you're looking to pay for if you want them right now. So I don't know. Like
Yeah.
it's a super nice shoe, and I tried to get them, but they were sold out before they even went on sale online. That kind of deal. I don't know, but
I thought they were going to be slept on, to be honest with you, and I was wrong because I had an opportunity to buy them through the sneakers app, but I was sleeping on them.
there you go.
And once
Again.
again, kicking myself. Once again.
So we got the LeBron thing out of the way. We talked about that for a little bit. But how do you feel about the upcoming NBA season and the kind of silhouettes that's been launching, like the KDs and the Jordan 32s? How do you feel about the casual appeal of the KDs, the Jordan 32s, the LeBron 15s, and the Adidas, the what is it, the
The
crazy
crazy
yeah,
explosives.
like those are like legit basketball shoes. So how do you feel about people wearing those at the mall and slaying outfits with those?
Like I said before, I really think it all comes down to your style, how you wear them, how you dress as like a person, how you're wearing them, like what type of pants you're wearing. I think that we're definitely going to see a lot of like basketball heat, like during the All-Star weekend. I know personally, the All-Star Jordan 1s are a pair of Jordans that like I think that are like I would take them over. Like if someone was like, "Look, Brooke, I'm going to take your Royals, or you can give me your Royals and I'll give you a pair of All-Star 1s." I would pick the All-Star 1s.
Yeah, but you're forgetting the All Star ones are retro, and we're talking about
Yeah.
modern basketball shoes, and that's a little bit of a different thing. It's just I think Christopher James was saying that retros are made like in modern day talking. Retros are made for casual wearing because no one's really balling in Jordan 3s or 4s or anything like that. But the new kind of silhouettes coming out, I think it's absolutely possible for people to wear them casually. It just depends on which colorway they get and how they match it with their outfit. Like, I'm not creative or fucking smart enough to pull that off. But I can absolutely see that being a trend coming up soon, because, a lot of media influencers will get early pairs of this stuff and they will wear it just for exposure. And once that happens, like, that's exactly it, man. People just want to follow in particular people's footsteps. And I can totally see more basketballs eventually selling, not because there's more people playing basketball, but because they are taking the chance of wearing them casually at the mall.
Yeah, I agree. I'll have to see them a little bit more, but like personally, like I just love the Jordan 1. So like it's hard for me to like look past any other Jordan shoe to like kind of like wear as like casual. Like I like the Kobe's. I like a lot of the older LeBrons. So I definitely have to see them and kind of see like an on foot before I wear them.
So, as much as you like the Jordan 1s, right? How did you feel about the retro inspiration that the 31s drew from? Would you wear that shoe casually? That is a high performance basketball shoe, supposedly.
If it's it all depends. Like I would have to say it. So I haven't like really, in all honesty, done like that much research on that shoe. Like when I see like a basketball shoe that like I really want to wear like casually or I want to kind of rock, like to me personally, um, I can't really see myself wearing something like that right now. But it could change.
And that's the problem we're talking about. Like, I know that most of the people that participate in any sort of, live discussions when it comes to sneakers or listen to any of our podcasts, they are very much into retros just because they grew up with it and this and that, and they have a nostalgia for it. But the only difference is people back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, they were buying brand new OG Jordans and wearing them to school and stuff. But nowadays, people aren't doing that. And as much as there's a resurgence in basketball shoes being worn casually, they are not as appealing for everyday wearing as much as they used to be. Like, do you think that has something to do with the demands of the athletes wanting like the absolute best performance for their sneakers? Do you think that has something to do with the designers of each sneaker being like, we need to step up, the way that we can further technology and this and that, and the casual appeal of each new silhouette is suffering a little bit, maybe just to fulfill that high performance critical checklist? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's kind of like how LeBron, like they talked about like his shoes. Like there's going to be one that's on the court and off the court. Like look at the old shoes. Like I remember I was reading something like he didn't even want to wear like he wore older generations of his shoes because the new ones just didn't have like the technology in it that he needed. Like you can't be like to a basketball player like, look, we're gonna make a sick ass shoe that like so many people are gonna want to wear like casually, and you're gonna be able to ball in it. No, it doesn't fucking work that way. Like you need to make something that's strictly for basketball. Like make it strictly for basketball. If you can rock it off, then like you got swag for being able to rock off a fucking basketball shoe that's like made for that type of sport. Like you shouldn't like put an athlete, like a fucking professional athlete that like works hard as shit into like what they do and give them like a fucking shoe that they can't perform in. It's like going to like a marathon runner and being like, look, we're gonna give you this shoe. We're also gonna have people fashion like take some photo shoots in it. Like no, it has to like be something that's like going to be able to hold up and be good for them as well. Like that's the whole point about it. Like knowing the fact that you have a sneaker that like one of your fucking like favorite stars or like a high performers like played in, like to me that's all I need to know that the shoe's fire. Like I don't need it to like look swaggy. Like I'll wear whatever the fuck I want.
So Beer Jedi brought up a few points. Is that he thinks that there is a sneaker identity crisis right now. He's confused that we have retros being laced and super expensive materials, and he's like, what is this, designer casual? He just doesn't understand what it seems like. He doesn't understand what we're being fed, like what exactly the market is that they're targeting. And at the same time, a lot of retros were never comfortable, so there is the desire to fix that as well. So I'm guessing he's my example of identity crisis with the retro movement would be
Flying it.
That, and like maybe the Pinnacles, maybe like we're charging like in Canada up to $500 for a pair of Jordans, right? And especially for like the ultra high end luxe material line stuff.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
and that is nuts, man. Like we're paying $500 for a Jordan retro, and I always thought that that was a very risky move for them to take. And of course, it comes with like a dust bag and all this and that, and a fucking super nice glossy box. And what are they selling now? Like, are they selling designer shoes or are they selling an athletic shoe? You know what I mean? Like when we were talking about Louis Vuitton and all that stuff, they know exactly who they're marketing to. They're marketing to the the one percenters that will fucking drop $1,000 on stuff like this. But now Nike, as an athletic brand, is targeting people in high fashion. Like that doesn't make sense to me, and I agree with Beer Jedi saying that there's an identity crisis in the casual market, or in the retro market for casual sneakers. So, what do you think about the different price points and the way they're marketing retros right now?
I think it's kind of hard because I feel like sneaker prices keep going up sometimes. Like I remember back when like KDs were the cheapest pair of sneakers, that like basketball shoes that you could buy. Like they were super duper cheap, or like Kyrie's were really cheap. And that Christopher James brings up another point. Like the shattered backboards, like look how much the resale price is on them. Like I want them so bad, but I cannot justify spending $1,000 on them because they all of a sudden have just went up so much because of that premium, like that leather, like sale material that they have, and just because they're more of like a hype shoe. So I think it's kind of like if you see something like that you really want, and you know that it's going to get hot, like you should just buy it because the resale, like some people are saying like sneaker resale is dead. No, it's really not. Like there's still people that are selling shoes. There's still StockX that's going on. Like you can't even get like some like the Kobe the mentalities. Like I can't even get them because it's fucking $200 more over.
And
You know?
Timbistan brought up a very good point. He's saying that the premium five, the Primo Jordan fives, they cost like $400 US, whereas in the Cause fours are like 300, 350, right? And
Yeah.
if you ask me, like the Cause is a much more desirable shoe, and even the quality of
Oh,
the
they're
shoe,
fire.
the quality of the Cause fours are even probably, I don't know, probably way better controlled than the premium fives, if you ask me. But how do they determine how they price these things? And at $400 or 500 Canadian, who is buying this thing? It's ridiculous.
It's just like those shoes that I told you the Ricardo TC came out with. They sold out. They're gone. There's no sizes left. Like $300. Like that's insane. Like that's a lot of money. Like even to me, a Yeezy at retail 220, that's steep. Like that's
Oh,
high. Even like
definitely.
I love the Vapor Maxes, but 190, like that's a hit. Like that's an expensive shoe. That's why I really think Nike did a sweet spot. Like I personally think the trainers could be like 120, not 150, but that's like the whole Flyknit racer kind of concept. But that's kind of like the whole entire thing. Whoa, Christopher James, I am so jealous that you had a pair of the off-white Prestos. You son of a bitch. I really want those shoes really bad. I would take any pair of the off-whites. Sorry, I got distracted. But yeah, resale is not dead, like at all, for sure.
We know resale is not dead. It's just Jordan Brand themselves are trying to discourage resellers by mass producing a lot of their retro series, and I understand where they're coming from, and I think when they do something like that, that devalues their product. It's almost like a country printing out too much money. Each dollar is
Yeah.
worth less and less if they print more and more money. So at that, like up here in Canada, each retro is $255 Canadian, and that is a huge sum of number, especially if you caught more than one pair a week or a month per se. Like we're talking about like kicking 2 days in the ass at work just to get a pair of shoes. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't have that kind of budget, especially if you have a new colorway out every single weekend. We can't keep up at 255 a pop. After tax, it's like 280 Canadian, and I think that them mass producing a shoe and over releasing the frequency of these shoes, that's what's hurting them. I'm not saying like they're not making tons of money, because they're making tons of money, but the value of each release drops. If that makes any sense to you, it's just the dollar amount and the value might not hold the exact same quantifiable numbers. Just when they start doing that, that's when people stop desiring those shoes, and then making sure everyone wants them makes sure that also ensures that no one wants them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
And I think a lot of people are like, oh, like those Flyknits, they're sitting on the shelves, the breads, this and that, blah blah blah. But I still think that once they're gone, they're gonna have a resell to them. Once everything's gone, there's gonna be a resell to it. If you couldn't get it then, someone else has it in their hand. In order for you to get it now, you're gonna pay more for it. Supply and demand.
and because of this, we've all heard or read or saw a video about Nike, or not Nike, but like Jordan Brand starting to pull back the production numbers for a lot of the retros coming out next year, and with some really iconic sneakers coming out, rumored to come out next year, like the Black Cement 3s and all this and that.
The shadows.
Exactly, and with these rumored or projected to be releasing next year, and then scaling back on production, it might be a resurgence on the retro boom again. And I have no problem with that because I already own a lot of these shoes from previous retros, but
and you haven't worn them.
Exactly, so they're just as valuable. I really don't mind them doing that, just because it will make them not valuable. Like, to me as a collector, I don't really care how much something is valued at. It's just whether or not people will see why these shoes are important. Like if people see
For sure.
the Jordan 4 Motorsports sitting on the shelves on crazy discounts, people might think that they're not worth anything, and they'll probably have a different view on the Jordan Brand in particular. So that might be a good thing that they're scaling back production.
Yeah, it's true.
So is there anything else you want to add before we start closing it down a little bit?
I wouldn't say. The only thing that like I'm kind of like I'm not really looking to purchase anything this week that's coming out. I'm more kind of tuned into like things that are like that I missed out on that I can find at good prices. But other than that, I think that's about it. What about you?
I think that we've covered this basketball thing for a little bit. We talk about it on the podcast quite regularly, asking why basketball shoes aren't moving the needle as much as they used to be. Maybe there are just too many for people to choose from. Maybe they're overproducing, or maybe the silhouette and the look of the shoe themselves are just not as appealing casually to consumers as they used to be. But I think we covered this quite well. And before we sign off, I just want to do the usual shout outs and everything. First of all, thank you to everyone that's been participating in the chat, everyone that's been watching live. Thank you so much. If you could please just give us like a thumbs up and leave a comment below afterwards, that'd be great. If you're watching this after the live show, once again, maybe give us a quick subscribe, give it a quick thumbs up, leave a comment below. Let us know exactly if there's anything you want us to cover in future episodes. And you can find us easily. All our information is just like right down there below. You can find me on Twitter at Sneakerphiles and on Instagram at Sneakerphiles_podcast. And once again, thank you very much for everyone that's been participating. We don't usually we pretty much only do this show for you guys, so yeah, very grateful. How about you, Brooke?
Yeah, I really love all the participation this week. I'm glad I finally configured the chat so I can, chime back in. And guys, follow me on Instagram. It's BrookieDo. Also on my website, brookiedo.com, and on Twitter, BrookieDo. There's 3 O's and 2 O's for the website. Everything else has 3 O's. So definitely check me out there. If you ever have any questions, or if you just want to talk sneakers and hang out, hit me up. Slide it in the DM.
Yeah, I think we're very approachable people, and I'm very open-minded.
For sure.
And I don't ever shit on anyone's taste or whatever that. If you need any help with any sneaker, anything, let us know. Brooke has way too much free time, so you need to like plug her DMs up a little bit more. So.
Get the fuck out of here.
And I don't know, man. Like, good episode, Brooke. So, you want to sign out for us?
Yeah, let's sign out. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Hearts, really love it. Great for the participation from everybody. Like, subscribe, guys. Follow us. We do this for you, and we'll see you next week. And we may have a special guest next week. So we'll see you then. All right, guys.